Back, Base Trade fans, here we are in map number 3. I don't know that anybody has fully recovered after that last game. Can anybody even fully recover after that last game? Is going to be the real question, but this is a deciding match. The winner will move on to the round of 16 and secure his spot in this tournament, or the loser will fall to fight against Stork in the finals. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, though, playing for Yoey Flash Wolves. It's the Red Protoss partying.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, it is MVP's departure. Now he's not going for the same cheese, guys. This is a 10 pull, isn't it?
Yeah, he's sick of brie. He's going for some cheddar. You know, he's just changing it up a little bit.
But like parting is like having none of his shit. Like he's like immediately scouting.
Right? I mean, this is a good move though. I mean, honestly, do you want to be caught in that same situation again, where 4 stalkers are barely what wins you a game? No, you want to lock down and know exactly what's going on 100% of the way.
Well, I don't know what departure. I mean, it's not the most dedicated, you know, attack. You can expand off. In fact, you even get gas behind it. But it is, you know, a little disappointing. It's not going to be a Nexus first, which it could have been.
I don't even want to talk about this game, man. It's just like, that game was so sick. I'm still not over game 2 yet to be in game 3 properly.
There's so many like what ifs about that game for both sides, I suppose. But especially for departure.
Well, it's just like, you know, it's special for us too, because you get base trade on base trade. Okay, you get the nerd factors, but
what are you gonna do?
Cool
what are you gonna do? Parting? Are you just gonna go back and scout to see if he puts on a hatchery? That's probably what
I don't think Parting's gonna proxy. It just doesn't seem like his. I mean, we see him do goofy stuff on stream, and even then, you don't see that too much, right?
It'd be the ultimate revenge, though. It'd be like, oh, I'm so defenseless against this pool. Oh no! Oh, bam, an oracle.
Okay, well, 4 lanes coming across the map. I'm gonna be a little bit sad, as there's no Nexus for them to kill. I mean, he scouts with the Overlord, of course, but Parting playing pretty safe. I like this wall off he's kind of done around the mineral lines too, so there's not even a lot of area for these lanes to duck in and out of. Like, they actually have to come into the probes to fight.
The last 2 games, he's had pretty good SimCity in his main. It's just like, you know, a lot of that could have been done by just having him at the front.
Top of the ramp, yeah. There's a player I'll reference here. It's a North American player, actually does the best. Puck, almost 100% of his games. You'll see the pylon and the cyber core at the top of this ramp. And there's not really a reason to not do that. It just plays so well into like having that backup wall.
I think it really doesn't play well into the late game, and that's why some people don't do it.
Maybe, yeah,
which is like because you have to go through that one like unit area. So if you're trying to defend against say like mutas with blink stalkers, it's pretty difficult. That's the only thing I can think of though.
I can see the cons in that regard, but I mean, I don't know, I guess it really depends on reading your opponent too. Like, you know, game 1, that first thing happens, you expect that sort of thing in game 2, right?
Yeah. By the way, that probe I think just went in to see if the hatchery was down, or if the 3rd hatchery was down. So it's come back home. Unless that Ling scared it off, I'm not sure. There's a Ling searching for any type of proxy.
Yeah, departure in the meantime, like, it's weird to see him with 27 drones here 5 minutes in, but apparently it can happen. Well, this time he'll actually get a wall off. Everything's looking a little bit better here for Parting. Gateways even coming down. And of course, 3 gateways, again, you can apply a little bit of pressure if you want to, but more importantly, it gives you the production of what you need. But we don't have a Stargate, we don't have a Robo coming down just yet. In fact, it's going to be 4 gates. Ooh, this is a good way for Parting to pay him back. It's like, oh, hey, your 3rd base looks pretty cool. See you in like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Very important for Parting not to let this be scouted. Yeah, the force field is worth it, but it is a little bit of like a really...
It's a tell. Yeah, like, why are you trying so hard to deny my scouting, right? So the Overlord might come in here a little bit sooner than normal. If it sees the extra 2 gateways in the main... Again, it's not that seeing 4 gates lets you automatically defend against it, but it lets you know to stop droning, and that's where a lot of these players do get caught off guard. They drone too much.
I mean, 3 gateways, you can get to the pylon, you can technically defend with queens and lings. 4 gateways, it's going to be way too much to commit just to do that, so you need a Roach Warren. And he does throw one down, you know, a little bit earlier than normal, so he does know that something is up. He's also stopped droning. He's going to start looking for those pylons, and the pylon is rather far out. Well, now it's not. Now it's right there.
Far out, man.
Yeah, now it's really close by, man. Well, this 3rd is not quite done, so he could always cancel it if he really was feeling a lot of pressure.
I mean, how much does he expect, though? I mean, you see 2 gateways in the wall. That's not a giveaway. That's not a, hey, you're 4-gating me, but hey, he's 4-gating him.
I think he's able to tell right now, especially, well, with the warp in as fast as they are, like 2 at a time, looks like he's gonna be able to tell. Otherwise it'd be like really cockeyed and weird.
Yeah, I like that he's actually waiting to engage here. This is a bit awkward. He does catch one of Parting's, actually a big part of Parting's reinforcements in this, but I mean, for Parting, just to kill this hatchery alone it's so much damage. Not the 300 cost of the minerals, but the delayed mining, the lack of larva, so much of this plays into what's gonna hurt Departure, and Parting can always recall.
Yeah, you can start slapping down those gases. He is starting to, you know, probe up again.
Oh, actually just get away with the broodlings, I guess. I thought he was running away to save the recall, but he's gotta be careful with the mothership core. No more energy for a recall, but 86 so close to doing it once again. Time Warp may come down as well, but this army for Parting is starting to snowball pretty quickly. Roaches without speed don't fare too well against these cells, but Transfuse is coming in really nicely. Slowly getting picked off. Ironically enough, his speed's about to finish here. There we go, does complete, but Zealot's now top of the Queen's off of creep, almost guaranteed kills at this point. Transfuses are gone at this point. He's warping directly on top of the army, so the Zealots have no travel distance at all. This probe still stands with 3 health.
Oh, it's helping out so much. The Lings should really focus fire.
They can bring the mothership core back now, though. There's no anti-air.
That's true. Well, he's so afraid of a Queen popping out the natural. The creep spread could just spread here. He is gonna just recall. Okay, that was almost looking a little bit scary there, but Departure does finally find the units he needs to push this back.
I mean, Parting got the kill on the base, which was the ultimate goal of this. He bled out a little bit more, getting over-dedicated to killing some units, but I kind of feel like every Zerg unit that dies this game is payback for every probe he lost last game, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if that was a recall that was worth it. You know, 1 Stalker, a recall, no Focused Overcharge. You still have the defensive position as a Protoss player with Force Field, so it's not like you really need the cannon right now. You're going to need it in like a couple of minutes when the Roach attack happens, but it's just like for 1 Stalker. Yeah.
Well, with the 3rd base coming back up, again, it delays him a little bit, but this is Parting getting those Immortals out, and we saw it. I mean, last game was a great example of, you let Parting get to Immortals, like, you really don't say this about most, because it's like an all-in that either wins or fails, but like, you let Parting get to Immortals, you let Parting have more than 2 sentries, you're gonna have a bad time.
See, I think that's actually a secret, right? Like, more than 2 sentries. Departure didn't kill enough sentries that last game. He let him get to 3. No. Oh god, no.
You say that jokingly, but literally when you have like 11 hallucinated Immortals, that actually is the case. There's too many sentries.
Can you imagine like how much he actually would have stomped the Spine Crawlers had he not used all of it on those initial Stalkers?
That as well as the actual Immortal staying at the 3rd in that run by.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, but he just would have actually stomped Departure's Spine Crawler wall. But Departure, he's getting a Hydra Zen, but also an Imputation Pit, so I guess he's just going up to Hive, despite losing that 3rd so early on. He still feels very comfortable going into high-tech, I suppose. Parting, I think, is just gonna... Yeah, he's all winning, though. You're not gonna have time to use that Imputation Pit for anything more than decoration, I guess.
Yeah, it's a fun way to interior decorating. But the Warp Prism coming out is gonna be some nice... potential warp is directly into the main, but most likely just going to be used for the reinforcement points, of course. You're not going to have pylons down at this point in the game. Departure's
getting 17 Hydras. If these come out before Parting really starts to push in, that could be really, really good. I mean, 19 and Lings too.
I mean, the sentries are still going to be able to choke out. So this is a big-ass ramp. You can still force field it off. There's an even better choke that comes here between the crevasse and the extractor over here on the left side as well. There's so many places where Parting can abuse these force fields, and guys, this is Parting's like stride he's in. There's a lot of force fields available. Takes out the Spine Crawler. Oh man,
such a big army for Departure though.
It really is. This is scary. He's pulled a lot of drones with this too. I mean, he's ready to fight. He's ready to go. But look at the force fields. This is what I'm talking about. Uses this so well. Fights a minimal amount of Hydras at a time. We'll see if this is enough to come through. Lots of drones go down immediately. Hydras filtering in from the north. The Mothership Core sniped off by the looks of it, so there's no recall out of this fight. It's do or die. Oh, he can still force field off. He can force field off the right side. There's no. He doesn't
even
take
down so many sentries though.
That's true. He's about out of juice in that regard. Pylon warping and more Stalkers. And these do not have blinks, so it's not that easy retention. Parting on 2 bases wants to knock down his opponent's 3rd, but will be at the cost of too much. Will be at the cost of everything.
I think so. Like, hell, he needs more sentries. The Hydra's being able to attack his army is just like, yo, that's when it starts getting a GG. But he's warping in, he's catching it back up in supply. Plus 1 missile is actually working out so well for Departure. Of course, Parting with absolutely no upgrades.
Yeah, the force fields are just a little shy. He needed that 1 more to plug it. Because he has to spend 2 inefficiently. Picks up with a Warp Prism. Good control here out of Parting. Is it going to be enough, though? This is so scary. The army supply for Departure is out of control. It's a lot of Lings, though. But without those Roaches buffering, these Hydras are very weak. However,
but
there
no,
might just be
Blink's
too many.
Trying to micro. He's trying to micro so hard with these immortals.
Oh, this is the warp prism.
Down.
Got a little overzealous there, and I think Departure, after he's beaten his back, there's nothing left for parting. One army supply. What does he have in one army supply? An observer.
That is so sad. Trying to get to Colossus. Of course, Colossus will wreck, just a Hydra army, but not if there's like 50 Hydras to one Colossus.
But I'm kind of concerned because we're getting to this point where Parting's actually mining out of his main. He doesn't have a third. I don't think the economy can support heavy Colossus.
Oh. Yeah, he's literally gonna have like one Colossus, no force field because all of his gas is gonna go into it. It's one Colossus and maybe 7 Zealots. Departure, I feel like he really just has to attack. I mean, he's being a little conservative right now. He's running up again after losing all of his third drones, but he probably could just attack.
I really thought that was going to go so much better for Parting. I mean, that third base almost looked guaranteed to die when he had those first force fields land, but that was a pretty good hold out of Departure.
Yeah, 20 seconds sooner, Departure getting another wave of drones. Either one, Parting probably finds that snowball effect. Yeah,
but that's kind of the hard thing too. This creep spread, by the way. Oh god. Was gonna try and get his base set up here, of course, but not gonna be able to.
Yeah. Departure. Oh, I like that he canceled the invitation fit. I was talking about decoration right there, but he actually had the mind to cancel both the 4th and the invitation fit. Just needed every single bit of money and gas that he could get. I mean, going up to high was still not a bad idea. It's actually probably going to be just as fast getting corruptors, maybe. He didn't throw down a spire, so. But that's one thing he has to worry about is Colossus being very cost effective.
That is the truth of it. I mean, it's not even like one Colossus will win the game. It's like one Colossus with like amazing force fields. Your army just dissipates if they get stuck in there.
Yeah, but I feel Departure's gonna, he's gonna max out soon. If 5-0's in the way, a 4th base on the way. Parting has a really big bank that he just can't quite use yet. He's going to, I guess, to use more on gas-heavy units.
Well, the Colossus too. Like he can't afford 2 robos. He has to kind of filter it out slowly like this. Kind of like his income going through a coffee strainer, I guess, more or less.
Yeah, good analogy right there. Pushing out like this, so dangerous. What the flip?
Yeah, I really thought as well this was gonna be a short series. Game number 1 had me worried. Game number 2 renewed my faith, and game number 3 hasn't let me down. But this is still a situation where it's very upgrade lists on both sides. There's like +1 weapons, as you pointed out. +2's finishing up here in a moment, but I mean, really, this is not there's not a lot of tech here for Departure. He's coming up on Hive now, so he'll finally get those Vipers out, but there's no Infestors. There's nothing to really support. There's a lot of the Queens died, so it's not going to be Transfuses. We'll see if he can hold. I mean, it's again, this army, there's a lot of Roaches in it now, but still Force Fields are going to be more deadly than his Colossus will be. And well, he's like, oh, guys, back up. I'm falling.
He's imbalanced, would you say?
Oh, she went there.
Okay, so Parting is going to also do some good work with another Warp Prism that he did dedicate to.
This is good. I like this a lot, actually.
Roach is already here.
Canceled. Well, even if the Roaches are here, I mean, enough Warpins are still going to be enough Warpins, right? He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. I mean, the reality is, though, look at this. It's 202 supply to 100. Ugh. He puts a Nexus down behind this, so maybe not looking to all in entirely. But yo, if Parting can win this game with half the supply of his opponent, I like the hallucinated Colossus. However, there's an overseer, so he'll be able to tell which of the hallucinations. +3 weapon upgrades has begun, and Parting has no armor. He's got no weapons.
Waste. Nice, he recalls. He's like, gotcha.
You know those gifs where it's like wasted. I kind of feel like I want to do that for each of the the pull-ins there.
Okay, so Parting, I mean, he didn't really do anything with that push. He usually like pushes like that. They're meant to scare. They're meant to like force him to drone or not drone rather. But I don't think Departure's too worried about droning. 64 isn't exactly great, but he has plenty of opportunity and plenty of money that should he need 20 more drones, it won't be so hard to get.
Man, this army, I can't get over the numbers. I'm sorry. Like, there's a bank behind it. He's already maxed out. These cannons aren't gonna have any action.
He did have so many minerals, and he was like, Zealots are worthless. They don't even have charge. They get cannons.
I mean, if the cannons were part of the fight, these cannons would be so sick, but they're not going to be, and that's the problem. The Force Fields and the Colossus working really well in tandem. However, here comes the Abducts, and there's no tempo on the front lines to prevent this from happening. How did that last Abduct go off? What? It pulled it over the Nexus. But I think we're about to see a PvP final, Zombie Grub. Yeah. Departure! Woo! First person out of the group into the round of